Greetings, greetings, and salutations, beautiful people in the beautiful world. It is me, he is I am him, Zach Latimer, Z-Lat, and welcome back to another segment of Right and Exact. Shots out to a new nation, shots out to you. I understand you could be doing anything in the world right now, but you are here with me, and I do appreciate that. Today, what I want to talk about and build on is some things that you should stop doing. What should you stop doing? First things first, you should stop waiting on somebody to come and fix all of your problems. Stop just waiting on somebody. I'm just going to sit right here and somebody is going to just magically appear and say, here is $1,000,000. Here is all of your problems solved on a platter, on a tray, and I can just sit here and do absolutely nothing about it. No, you have to get up and you have to start moving and grooving. You got to start wheeling and dealing. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and if you don't sit in there and jump in, then nothing is going to happen, right? Because you are either on your way or you are either in the way, so stay out of my way because I'm on my way, all right? So what you got to start doing is looking at it like this. I got to get up and save myself. I am going to be my own Messiah, and then I'm going to start moving and grooving. It's like a story where a guy had to push his own car, right? So his car broke down, and he sat there on the side of the road, and he waited for somebody to come and help him. Well, nobody showed up to come and help this guy, right? So he's sitting there, and he said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to just get up, and I'm going to start pushing my own car. Well, in the midst of pushing his own car, that's when people started to pull over and say, hey, man, can I offer you any help? Can I offer you some assistance? Well, moral of the story is once you start moving, then people will say, you know what, I understand the struggle, I understand the grind, what can I help you with and how can I assist you? But don't bank on it. You should already go in there thinking that I'm going to get this done. Regardless if somebody comes and helps or not, I'm going to still get this done. Right? So stop waiting on other people to fix your problems. Step 2, stop trying to be so hard. Stop trying to have this hard shell where you don't want to let anybody in. You don't want to be allow anybody to see you being vulnerable. All right. And when you have this hard shell, then what happens is it's hard for you to see the damage that you have done to yourself, and it's hard for you to see the damage that you have done to other people. And when you can't see the damage that you've done to yourself and other people, then it's hard for you to have sustaining relationships with other people. And when it all boils down to it, life is all about relationships. That's what it all boils down to. I don't care what you're doing in life. It's all about relationships, and it's all about the relationships you have with other people. But it's going to first start with that relationship you have with yourself, and then people will treat you the way you treat yourself. Well, how are you treating yourself? Are you trying to be hard and not letting anybody else in? Well, then now you start to wonder why you're in the situations that you're in. So stop trying to be so hard and open up. All right. Step 3, stop labeling things. You can't keep labeling things as bad. You can't keep labeling things as good. They just are. It just is what it is. All right. So once you can start to look at it and say, you know what? This day wasn't a bad day. This day wasn't a good day. It just was the day that I can get something and learn from it. Right. And if you start looking at it like that, then you start to hinder your progress, because then if you start to have consecutive bad days and you say, oh, I just make these mistakes and that's just me and I just keep doing this, well then now, yeah, you're going to keep making those same mistakes over and over again. But if you start to look at it and say, you know what, instead of me trying to get through something, I'm just going to try to get through it, because I don't even know how I'm going to get this done. I'm going to just say, well, what can I get from this? And what can I get from this? Then I'm learning from this situation. And then once you learn from this situation, then you start to build from it. And then that's when you start to become more successful, because then you don't make the same mistakes twice. All right. So stop labeling things. And then if you do label something, then you got to know how to label it, because these words come with emotions behind it. So even if you say, I'm just by myself and I'm so lonely and nobody wants to be with me, instead of saying that, why don't you just say, I'm available? And when you become available, then your whole attitude starts to change. Your whole, the way you walk starts to change. The way you talk starts to change. And then you start to open yourself up for communication and dialogue with other people that's saying, I'm so lonely. And then you start to become so depressed. All right. So next thing, stop trying to rush the process. When you try to rush the process and skip steps, then you start to skip and miss moments. And when you miss moments, then you start to miss what's happening in life. And even when you get to your destination, what you feel is your destination, then you look back and you say, man, or you may not even be able to sustain it. because of the simple fact that you skip steps. So then you're trying to keep everything that you have sustained up until this point, and it's hard to, because then you skip step 3, 4, 7, and 8. Then you got to go back and you got to do it again, and then now you're sabotaging even your own efforts of why you got to where you got to, right? So stop trying to skip steps, enjoy the process and enjoy the moment, and then stop running from your truth. And when I say running from the truth and your truth, running from yourself. When you stop running from yourself and stop trying to run to all these different people to get an answer that you want to hear. Somebody done told you something about yourself and you don't want to hear it, so then you run to the second person, the third person, and the fourth person is trying to get third, fourth, fifth, sixth different opinions, all right? If your attitude is janky, your attitude's janky. Fix it, all right? If a relationship is over, then the relationship is over. Move on. So many guys I've seen try to hold on to women that don't want you, or women trying to hold on to men that don't want you. Let it go. Let it go. Have trust and faith in yourself that you can, man, if you got this one, you can get another one. So stop running from yourself. Stop running and holding on to a job that no longer is suiting you. Stop holding on to things that no longer have any value for you. Stop, because how can you grab something else if you got something in your hand? You got to let it go. Let it go and more things will come to you. All right, so these are some things that you could stop doing today, and then once you stop doing it, then you can open yourself up for all these beautiful things that are going on in the world. Open yourself up, all right? I will that you got something out of this. I will that you have a wonderful day. If you want to get deeper into this, go into Enlightenment Transformation. Chief will hook you up. And if you want to holler at me, you can catch me on Instagram, Zach Latimer, ZACHLATIMER. IG, hit me up, and have a wonderful day, man. I will that you got something out of this. I'm out. Deuces.